Hindu,
Yeah.
atheist, doesn't matter. If he's a good person who have no problem with you and your religion, make way for
Okay.
him.
Does the hadith say that?
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, absolutely doesn't. The hadith makes it clear that if you go past a Christian, I think it's either a Christian or a Jew, you are to push them to the side of the road. Yeah,
In
yeah.
England, you used to have a shower only on Christmas.
Okay. What's that got to do with anything?
Islam tell you to have a shower every week,
Oh, great.
at
You
least
know what I mean?
once a week. Even though Allah said fight the Jews and Christians, but this didn't happen really. No Jewish and Christian were killed.
So Muslims went
But
all the way
Muslims
from
were
Saudi
killed.
Arabia to the Middle East to North Africa to Spain to France, and they just did it peacefully. They just casually walked across. Like,
I leave you to your religion.
Yeah.
So
But
it's not
see-
about your religion.
See, we have a word for what that's called. Yeah, that's called intimidation.
No, it's not.
If I said to you, look, I'm going to fight you, but if you give me money, I'll leave you alone.
Listen.
That's called intimidation. And I can give you examples.
So is Christianity against underage?
Prepubescent, yeah. You have not achieved puberty. Have not been on their menstrual cycle, yeah. I would challenge you to show me a scripture that contradicts what I just said. But in Islam, in the Quran, I can find a very clear verse that tells you quite clearly that yes, you can have sex with prepubescent girls.
My friend. Look, I wanna know. We'll talk about this later, but
I kind of like this topic. I want to go into this a bit more.
Maybe after. No,
well,
no.
we can talk about Christianity and what Christianity thinks about this, yeah?
Earlier we were talking about defending.
Okay, defending what?
Defending,
Defending.
Like I
Okay,
said,
wait.
you said to me.
I'm gonna get some Bible verses out because I want you to know this, so that when we talk about it, I'm gonna get some Bible verses out because I want you to see this, yeah, so you can know, and then we can talk about it, and you can understand what I mean when I say that Jesus condemns anything like having sex with a child. Let me show you.
No. Let's
It'll
talk
take 2
first.
seconds just to go through the verse, and then you'll know
Oh
then.
yeah. Show me.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
show
right.
me.
So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So in Mark chapter 5, yep, and I'm looking around 42. Actually, look at 41. Now, in this context, he's just healed a female girl. Okay. Now we get clues in the text as her age. Listen to this. He took her by the hand and said to her, and it says something in Greek that I'm not going to try and pronounce, which means, little girl. What's it say there?
Get up.
Said to get up. Immediately the girl stood up and began to walk around. She was 12 years old.
Okay. All right.
But he referred to her as little girl. He didn't say woman. He said little girl.
Where does the marriage come in here?
No. What I'm talking about is how did Jesus see females who were the age of 12? He viewed them as
My
little
friend,
girls.
This doesn't prove anything.
No,
about our topic.
What I'm saying is Jesus himself, who saw a girl at the age of 12, raised her from the dead and called her little girl.
Where is? Let's say.
This is Mark chapter 5.
Where is the age 12? Where is?
There we go. She was 12 years old.
Okay, but that's between brackets.
Okay. Well, I'll have a check.
He said little girl.
Okay. I'll have a check to see if that's in the Greek. If it isn't in the Greek, then fair enough. But I've actually looked at the word little in Greek,
But
and that does have a
look, my
connotation of a
friend,
child.
You can't use what's between the bracket against
No,
us.
I'm making
You
two
can't
arguments.
use it.
Let
You have
me-
to be fair
Wait.
here.
First of all, the Bible and the way that the Bible is structured is not the same as it is in the Quran. In the Quran, anything in parentheses isn't actually in the Arabic. That's not necessarily the case with the Bible. Second, there's another reason why I think this is effective and shows that it's a little girl. It's because the Greek word for the Greek word used
little girl.
for little
let's say,
means child.
Let's say Jesus said to her,
yeah.
little girl.
Okay.
What does that mean then?
It shows that Jesus did not think a 12-year-old was a woman. It shows that he thought a 12-year-old was
But
a little girl.
you could even say about a woman, little
No,
girl.
because when I talk to Muslims about this, and I talk about Surah Al-Talaq, Surah 65, Ayah 4, it says a lot of Muslims go, no, the Arabic means
even
woman.
very, very old women, if you say to them girls, somehow they like it, it's being polite to them.
Little
You're being
girl.
nice to them.
No, I
girls.
can't say to a woman little girl. That's offensive to women.
No, not
Yeah.
little. girls, all the ladies.
Yeah, but he
all
said
the ladies.
little girl
How are
here.
you, girls? For
The,
example.
the Greek here is little
Okay, my
girl.
friend, let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay,
Let's move
but
on.
do you
Listen.
understand now why Christians have
no,
an
no, I
example?
don't understand. No.
Why? Why?
No.
I've clearly showed you
What
this.
you brought here
I
doesn't
am,
mean
I am
anything.
demonstrating that a 12-year-old is not considered a little girl in the perspective
you
of Jesus Christ.
You can't.
Sorry, a 12-year-old is
create
considered a
rules
little
out
girl,
of
not
this.
a woman.
You can't create rules out
That's
of
not rules.
something.
That's just reading
No,
that
you're-
there was a 12-year-old
Look,
girl
what you're
who was
saying
referred
is
to as little
just
girl.
because Jesus said to a girl, little girl,
Right, who was the age of 12.
That means you can't marry her and she can't walk this way and she can't go there. No.
Okay, so now the burden of proof is on you to demonstrate that Jesus thought you could have sex with little girls.
Marrying underage girls, it
Right.
was rife. Let me say something,
Yeah,
man.
but
Let me speak.
All right,
Let
cool.
me speak.
Go on, I'll let you speak.
Marrying underage girls, what is considered today to be underage girls, in Jesus' time was rife. Right?
Yeah.
Was rife.
Oh, yeah, sure, I can see that, yeah.
Why he didn't condemn it or say anything about it?
Okay, that is a very bad principle to say because Jesus didn't,
didn't
speak about
say
a lot of
anything
things.
about it.
Wait, Jesus didn't
Like
talk about
you
a lot.
now,
no,
you're condemning
no.
it.
Okay, Muhammad didn't speak about everything. Yes, it would be unreasonable of me to find something that Muhammad doesn't talk about and say why didn't Muhammad condemn it?
My friend,
Do you understand the principle?
My question is very, very, very simple.
Yeah.
Jesus knew about this. He saw it. Even his
Right.
mother was a child bride.
Right.
So he didn't condemn it. He kept quiet about it. Why you talk?
There are many things that Jesus could have condemned, yes.
Listen.
No. The Gospels are clear. There are
My
other things in
question
the
is,
Gospels
why,
that are not recorded.
was it bad? Was it bad
What,
to marry underage girls?
Yes.
Was it bad?
Yes.
Okay. Why
the
he
Quran
didn't-
affirms that you can marry
We're talking
underage
about
girls.
Jesus, my friend.
Well, I know, but I
Chris,
want to show
we're
you.
talking about Jesus.
Okay, that's
Forget
fine.
the Quran.
Okay, but I want you to see the
I
problem.
want you to make me understand
Right.
how Jesus did not say anything about it.
Right. Jesus didn't mention about a lot of things, did he? Right?
My friend, Chris.
Yeah.
If your boss
Yeah.
is all right with something, why would you have a problem against it?
Right. I don't assume my boss has to mention every single opinion he has about everything.
So
That is an unreasonable assumption
So you
that you
don't
have.
follow him then.
No.
Look.
You can follow someone's teachings
Listen.
and still use principles
Listen.
to derive other
Your
actions
boss,
as
you're
either moral or
you're
immoral.
walking with your boss, for example.
Okay.
Your boss saw a man throwing rubbish to the ground, litter to the ground.
Okay. Yep.
That's wrong, is it not?
Right, yeah, I agree.
Let me
No, I'm agreeing.
finish.
I'm
Let me
Yeah,
finish.
Okay, I'm agreeing.
Let me finish.
Right.
He didn't say anything about it.
Okay. Sure. But his actions tell me through his behavior how I'm to act. If he is my moral example, yes?
How do you know? How do
Right.
you know he's against that? How do you know?
Because he has actively done littering, yeah? So he has set an example, so he's saying you should litter.
You take your morals from him.
Right.
Look, we shouldn't dwell on
Okay,
this.
but I take
We're
my
talking
morals from
too much.
Jesus
We're
Christ.
going about this for too long.
Okay.
We have other issues to talk about.
Right.
Okay? So what I'm saying to you, Chris, is that your boss, look, are you independent of your boss?
Yes.
Of your master, of Jesus? You're independent of Jesus.
I'm not literally Jesus, no.
No. Are you independent of him?
Am I independent?
Do you not follow him?
Right. So I am dependent on him for my salvation. I am dependent on him for many things. But in terms of how I act and behave, it is me who is acting and behaving.
Look.
Yeah.
As a follower, you cannot. You can only follow your master.
Yeah. In principle, based off what he does and what he says. If he says to love my enemy, then that is a principle that applies in many different ways.
I
You
married
understand?
a 10-year-old girl,
Right.
and Jesus saw me,
Right.
and he didn't say anything.
Right.
Why would you condemn?
No. You're now assuming that silence is an admission of support. No, that's a false argument. That's a logical fallacy. You
But
can't
how
say
can-
that because someone is silent on
But
something.
you can't say
that
to me.
therefore they
You
they
can't say
approve
to
of
me
it or they
this is
support
against
it.
Jesus. You can't say that to me.
But what I am saying is Jesus
Because
taught
he
us.
didn't
Wait.
say
He taught us that
What?
a 12-year-old is a little girl in his view, and he also taught us to love those and not to do anything that would
his
cause them
job-
harm.
d-
Having sex
Is he
with
God?
underage.
Is he God? Is Jesus God?
Why are you jumping topic? Yes,
Okay.
you know I'm going to say
Okay,
yes. to
he's
that.
God. Okay.
Why are you jumping topic?
Even if he wasn't God, he's the messenger of God. He's a prophet, right?
He is both
He's
God
someone
and
who's-
the prophet, yes? Do you understand?
Even if he's not God, I'm saying even if
Right,
he's not
right,
God,
right.
he's someone who speaks with authority
Yes.
from God.
Yes, he is
Okay.
divine himself.
So he
he
has
speaks
the
with
authority.
utmost authority.
He has the authority.
Yes, absolutely.
To say this is right, this is wrong.
Right, yes.
Okay. He saw something, he didn't say anything about it. Is he doing
Okay,
his job?
why are you trying to get me into
Why
hypothetical
is he not
situations?
using his
Listen,
authority?
listen.
Because I need to know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to know. Marrying a 10-year-old girl, wrong or not wrong?
Okay, let me put it this way. Wrong,
But
very
you-
wrong. Let me explain.
Who tell me? Who
Wait,
tell me?
wait.
Not you.
Listen.
Not you.
You have to listen to what I say. I have not explicitly said in this conversation that I think stealing is wrong. Does that mean that I support stealing? I have not said in this conversation at any point that I think stealing is wrong. Does that mean, therefore,
That's
because
not-
my silence is in a form of admission that I think stealing is actually good?
Stay out of it. Let him.
Listen.
We talk.
The Gospels, for example, in the end of John's Gospel, it clearly says there were many other things that could have been written, but were not written, in John's Gospel. That means that, for all we know, that Jesus could have explicitly said that very statement
My
that you were
friend,
looking for.
my friend,
However,
my
we can
friend.
derive from principle, and we can derive from Mark chapter 5, verse 41 going onwards, that Jesus thought a girl who was said to be the age of 12 is a little girl. He did not say a woman, he
Okay,
said
my
a
friend,
little
my friend.
girl.
Do you know your problems in Christianity is that nothing is clear.
No, I think that's
There's
very
no
clear.
guidance. No guidance.
We have
Okay, I
principles,
want to marry
yeah.
a little girl. Is it allowed? Is it not allowed?
Well, in the Quran, it tells you can.
No, forget the Quran. Forget the Quran.
Come
I
on,
want
mate.
to know
Yeah.
Christianity.
Right.
Is it allowed? Is it not allowed? Is it? You have to tell me.
Right, I
You
have
have to
already.
tell me-
Okay. Let me explain. So, from Jesus' behaviour,
No
he clearly
guidance.
thought.
Okay.
Right, okay. So, Old Testament. Let's go to the Old Testament then.
Let's-
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 6, clearly gives an analogy of what it means to be a woman, and it talks about having visibly grown breasts and pubic hair. It clearly gives a visual understanding of what it means to have achieved womanhood.
Very
That
good,
would
very good,
exclude
very
girls
good.
at the age of 9
Very
years
good,
old.
very good. Do you know what
Right.
you're doing now?
What am I
you're
doing now?
legislating.
No, I'm giving principles.
You,
That's an
yeah,
analogy.
you're giving principles.
That's not a law.
You're giving morality here. You're giving morality of right and wrong.
Did Jesus say it was wrong?
He doesn't want to answer this.
Well,
he
Wait,
doesn't
wait,
want to
wait.
answer.
He has to.
Okay, listen. Jesus is not providing a legalistic framework. He is rather fulfilling the law and giving principles of which to live your life by. Do you understand?
Is it clear principles?
Yeah, clear principles. Yeah, like to love your enemy.
Is silence clear?
No. Why do you think silent? If I don't say something, how do you know what I think about it?
Exactly. I don't know.
Waffle.
You have to tell me. You have to tell me.
Jesus said that you are to love others.
If I
Jesus
say to
also
you-
said that a 12-year-old is a little girl.
Look. If I say to Jesus, if Jesus was here
Jesus
today,
made it clear that young girls at the age of 12 were not
Show us,
considered to
show
be
us,
women.
show us in the
Mark
Bible.
chapter 5,
Show
verse
us.
31.
Get it out, show us.
Mark
Read
chapter
it.
5, verse 41.
Read it.
I already read it with Sayyid. He took her by the hand and he said, Talitha
show it to me.
kum,
It doesn't say
which
anything.
means little girl. I say to
no,
you,
no.
get up, little girl. I checked the Greek
By
and the
the
Greek
way,
lexicon.
listen,
No, the Greek lexicon makes it clear that can
making
also
it up.
refer to a child.
making
That
it
is
up.
not the word you would use if you're referring to a fully grown woman.
Let's
Making
move
it
to
up.
another
How am I
question.
making that up?
Let's move to
I literally just read it
another
to you.
question. I have another question for you.
Okay. Well, do you concede now that there is no basis in
Because-
either the Old Testament or the New
because-
Testament to think you can have sex with a
You're in
prepubescent girl?
you are in a lot of trouble.
Why?
You're in deep water.
You have yet to make an affirmative case for what you think the Old Testament or the New Testament
Look,
shows.
I
You
want
need to show me a
everybody-
positive case.
I want you to show everybody that you have a religion that
Right.
has guidance.
We have our
Because
guidance through the
guidance is very
example and the
important.
teachings of
you
Jesus
don't have
Christ
guidance in
through the New
Christianity.
Covenant.
No guidance, my friend.
Of course we do. And Christians live by it every day.
If you walk on the street and you see a young man beating up an old lady, what would
Okay.
you do?
I will intercede. Why? Because Jesus
Who
said
told
to
you?
love.
Who told
Jesus
you?
said to love others.
Where is the
And
guidance?
is Jesus a pacifist? No, because it shows in John chapter 2, verse 15 onwards
did he say
that
it?
he himself is not above using a whip to get
I'll
other
make
people
it-
out of the
okay,
temple.
I'll give you an example. I'll make it easier for
So
you.
no, I've just proven it to you.
In Islam,
You-
there is
he has
complete
not.
guidance for everything.
Wait, you just told me
Let me
Islam is a
speak.
clear
Okay,
guide for
let-
today.
yes, yes.
I want to challenge that point. Is Islam a clear guide for today?
Challenge it after I say it.
Well, you just said it. I want to challenge it based on what you just said. You said Islam is a clear guide for today. Okay, explain why Islam is a clear guide for today. There you go.
If Islam said to me, if you walk on the street and you see a young man beating up an old lady, stop him.
Islam also says if you see a Christian walking across the street, you are to force him into the narrow of the road, if I remember right. So is that still applicable? Based on your
You wanna
hadith.
change the topic?
true?
Is that true?
do you wanna
That's not
change-
changing the topic. You said Islam is the guidance. You still recording? Make sure you still record this. Islam
Talk to
says
you,
that you
no
think
problem.
Islam is a guidance
Look,
for.
I have no problem.
You have no problem with treating
speaking
Christians poorly.
Do you want to have a conversation?
Yeah, but answer.
Please. Do you want
Answer what I've asked you. Yeah, just ask.
Don't you use everything I say against.
Then be
me.
very careful with what you
Let's-
say.
No.
Be careful with what you say.
I am being careful. I am
Okay,
being
so you
careful.
said that you think that Islam is a guidance for people today, yes?
I was talking about something. Can
Yeah.
I
Okay,
say?
finish
can I-
that. Finish that chain of thought. Islam is a guidance for today. Finish
Yes.
that. It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that includes verses in the Hadith that talk about how if you see a Christian across the road, you ought to push him into the narrow of the road.
So we leave that topic now. We talk about.
Wait, what?
this.
Wait, what? You just said that Islam is a guidance for all
Look, I'll
humanity
go with
today.
you. I'll go with you.
Right, so it is or it isn't.
I'll go with you. I let you decide what we talk about, but don't keep jumping.
You
up.
mentioned this.
Don't keep jumping.
You mentioned
all
it,
the
not me.
time.
You, not me. I never mentioned that.
Guidance.
That was the original topic,
Look,
and I gave
look,
you an example
let-
from Mark chapter
when-
5,
when you
41,
mention a
and from
topic-
Ezekiel 16, verse 6.
When you mention a topic, stay on it. All right.
Yeah, but you were the one who deviated. You said Islam is a guidance
I'm
for
I'm
everyone.
not deviating.
Deviation.
Okay.
Okay, take that back
What
then.
do you want to talk about?
Well, what you just said, Islam is a guidance for all of mankind.
He said that.
But that's not what I was.
Then why did you bring it up?
If you give me a chance, I'll let you know.
Okay, tell me then. Tell me how Islam is a guidance for life. Go on.
Who tells you to intervene to defend an old lady?
We follow the principles and the teachings of Jesus Christ.
Did he say this?
He taught us to love others, to love our enemies, and he also taught us that pacifism is not the correct view. From that, we can create a framework from those principles that adheres loyally to them
But
and
he-
honourably to them that about how
But he
no,
already-
he wasn't. John chapter
he already-
2 verse
Chris,
15
Chris,
refutes that idea.
Chris,
Yeah.
Jesus already gave you clear guidance on this topic. When someone came with a sword to defend him, Jesus said to him, "Put the sword away."
Right, yeah. Those who live by the sword will die by the sword.
So he was saying, "Don't defend me," right?
Right, yeah. And why
Don't
is that?
defend
Why,
me.
why did he say that?
Okay. He said, "Don't defend
Why
me."
did he say it?
Look, for you as a Christian,
He won't answer.
if you don't
He won't
def-
answer. Come on, tell me.
I'll
Why did he
answer,
say
I'll
it?
answer, I'll answer.
You've made a
But-
claim. I'm asking you to explain.
please don't cut me.
Yeah, but you're jumping. You're jumping.
No, I'm not jumping.
You
I'm
just
still
said.
talking about the
you
same.
just said. Jesus said, "Yeah, don't defend me." Right? Why did he say it?
Look, he doesn't want me to say what I want to say because he knows what I'm gonna say.
Just tell me.
You have to look. You have to let people speak.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
finished.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to let me
okay.
finish.
You said Jesus. Yeah, told
Chris,
people not to defend
Chris,
him. Yeah,
have
that's what
to
you
let-
just said.
You have to let me finish.
Okay, so tell me why. Why did he say it?
I tell you, don't interrupt me.
Okay, all right. In that case, then I'll let you talk about what you want. I just want everyone to remember. I asked him this, and I have a feeling he's not going to give us an answer. Let's go on.
Okay, this way.
If Jesus said to you, "Don't defend me," why would you defend someone who's less important?
Right. Notice that question, a great question, but in order to answer that question, he has to actually tell me why Jesus said that to begin with. So you should have just answered my question.
Jesus said to
we
you,
would have been able to give
I
him
tell you
better
why, yes,
answer.
I tell you why he
Okay,
said
tell me
that.
then. Tell me then.
Because
right.
his way is not to interfere any way at all.
No, that's not why he said it.
At
That's
all.
what you think, eh?
If you see an old lady being
Okay,
killed
can you-
on the street,
right.
don't do anything.
You think that's what he meant?
Yeah, that's
So did Jesus explicitly say that? Wait, by your own reasoning, you falter
By-
because you say
Yes,
Jesus
yes,
doesn't say
yes,
that you
yes,
shouldn't.
He said that. Yes, he said
Jesus said that?
Yes, that's what
Can you
he
show
meant.
me where? Show me
that's
where?
What he meant.
Show me
Because-
where? Show me where in the Bible.
Because
Show
he
me
said,
where?
"Don't use violence at all."
Did he? Show me that in the Bible.
At all.
Show me that in the Bible.
Don't
Give me any verse, any verse.
If you are not in Christianity, if you are not allowed to defend the most important thing, who is Jesus, then that means you don't defend
Right,
anything
okay,
else.
Let me say. What he is failing to understand is the reason why Jesus came. His mission was to redeem all of humanity, knowing full well that he would die on the
changing the
cross.
topic now. He's
So he did it of a choice.
can't answer these
Therefore,
questions.
when people tried to defend him, he said, "No, don't do that, because my mission is to go through this crucifixion." That is why he
Do you
said,
know-
"Do not intervene and
you
do
know,
not
I talk
defend
to
me."
Christians-
But he cannot
I
acknowledge
talk
this
to
because if he
Christians-
acknowledges it, it destroys his argument.
Chris, I talk to Christians who say if they see somebody, an old lady being murdered on the street, they won't do anything.
Well, they're very, very disturbed people.
Let's go back to the point that you see.
That is not the
Because
principle.
they said this is
Wait.
what This is what they understood Jesus saying. Because Jesus
yeah,
said,
yeah.
don't use it. Don't
Okay,
use
okay.
it.
Do you want to talk about Islam as a guidance for humanity today? Do you want to talk about
okay,
that?
go ahead, yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
okay. How can Islam be a guidance for humanity today when the understandings of what we Muslims are meant to do, like for example, you are taught how to go to the toilet in Islam. Yes? You're to use stones, and you're taught how many stones to use. How is that relevant today? How can anyone tell me how?
Hygiene,
Now,
not tolerance.
this is why Christianity is
Hygiene.
superior as a religion, because Christianity gives you a principle. It
Not
doesn't
to-
give you legalistic law like how to go to the
look,
bathroom.
Islam tells you
That is not a good
Okay,
religion.
Islam. In England,
use stones.
my friend,
Well,
in England,
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe, yeah.
let's talk.
Okay.
In England, you guys use one second, please.
No, we didn't
One
need to be told as a matter of law. Come on, like,
Common sense.
it was a bit, yeah, it was a bit. We didn't need legalistic.
Chris,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
England, you used to have a shower only on Christmas.
Okay. What's that got to do with anything?
Islam tell you to have a shower every week,
Oh, great.
at
You know
least
what I mean?
once a week.
Come on, at least once a week.
It keeps you clean
Right,
and
right.
healthy.
So not every day.
Why, you were
Listen,
gonna have a
listen.
shower every
My
day
point
in
is-
the winter.
Listen, my point is that you can clearly understand how there are better things to apply. Is it better to shower 2 or 3 times a week as opposed to 1 time a week?
Christianity,
Come on, answer that.
Christianity
You know-
doesn't tell you how to clean yourself.
Because we don't need to be told. We know we can adapt in our world, and that is why Christianity is relevant for today. We are not a legalistic religion. We are a religion that adheres to the principle and the
Okay, my
teachings
friend.
of our Messiah,
Okay,
Jesus Christ.
Okay, today I ask you all the questions I have for you today. So,
You want to leave it there?
yeah, do you have anything you want to say? Anything you want to ask?
Well, I'm happy to talk about Islam as a
Okay,
guidance
one
for
more.
man.
Sorry?
Well, I'm happy to keep talking about Islam as a guidance for humanity, because I
As a
really think that's
guidance.
clearly not the
As
case.
a guidance.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, complete guidance.
Ask him to
Yeah.
explain
Okay.
to you that
You mentioned.
about Jews and Christians pushing to the narrow
Oh,
road.
that's
Do you want
very
to talk
good.
about that?
That's
Do you
very
know
good.
about this hadith?
That's very good one. That's
Okay,
very
talk
good
about
one.
it, talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. I'm happy to talk
Right,
about
right.
that.
Go on,
Listen.
I'm ready.
Go on then, go on.
Listen.
All right. Very much willing to listen.
You deal. If you are walking on the street,
Okay, yeah.
and
Walking on
somebody
the
who
street.
hates you and your religion
Okay,
is coming the other way,
right.
the hadith say don't
Right.
make way for him.
Okay, okay.
But if a nice person, one second, a
All
good
right.
nice person,
Yeah.
doesn't matter Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Hindu,
Yeah.
atheist, doesn't matter. If he's a good person who have no problem with you and your religion, make way for
Okay.
him.
Does the hadith say that?
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, absolutely doesn't. The hadith makes it clear that if you go past a Christian, I think it's either a Christian or a Jew, you are to push them to the side of the road.
No.
Yes,
no,
it does.
no.
Absolutely does. Shall I find it?
Okay.
It isn't going to go well for you if I find this.
The hadith is talking about hostile people.
No. Wait.
Haters,
Let me give you an example.
why do
The-
you-
wait. Let me finish this. Let's.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
No, listen. Thick Islamic schools of jurisprudence understand this hadith today as an understanding that Muslims should never be made subordinate to Christians or Jews. That's how it's understood today. Do you understand that?
Last week you agreed with me that Islam, Quran say there are good Jews and good Christians and bad Christians.
In the early parts of the Quran, yes.
Yes.
In the later parts of the Quran, such as Surah 9, Ayah 29, it gives command to kill them.
Because there are,
In the early parts of the
my
Quran, it
friend,
does, yeah.
My friend, there are, until today, there are some good Christians and bad Christians,
Right?
right?
There's good everybody, yeah. There's good and bad everybody, yeah.
So good Christians, you have to treat them good.
Okay. Well, the Quran doesn't say that. The
No, it
Quran,
says that.
no. Quran Surah 9, Ayah 29 says you are to fight the Christians and Jews until they either they repent and accept Allah on the last day, or they pay the jizya. And that was one of the last surahs that was revealed to Muhammad. Okay, so why did why did the caliphate, the early caliphate, go out and conquer all of the Middle East? Why? It conquered Saudi Arabia, conquered the Middle East, conquered North Africa, conquered Spain, and converted it to a Muslim area. Why did it do that? It did that in literally like decades
To bring peace.
to bring peace. So they conquered all of Jewish and Christian lands to bring peace.
To bring peace.
And then he made the Christians and Jews either convert into Islam or pay jizya.
No, Islam doesn't say force them.
It does.
They want to stay.
Okay, all right, let's
they
get
want
the
to
verse.
stay-
You see,
No compulsion in religion. You forgot that.
it did say that, but that was an earlier thing and was abrogated. Scholars today
No
believe that
compulsion.
verse is
No
abrogated.
compulsion in religion.
They believe that 929 is the outstanding one.
No compulsion in religion.
Surah 9.
Allah said to the Prophet in the Quran, don't force anybody. If God wanted anybody to be the same, He would have made them the same.
Then why
God
did he say in Surah 929 to fight those who do not believe? Let's read it. This is our Tawbah.
Okay, let's finish with this. Okay, go ahead.
Hang on.
100 years ago, the Christian was on our land.
Yeah.
So therefore it's justified.
Therefore, 100
No, Muslims did this long before Christians were ever on the homelands.
there was the crusade, right? The Spanish Inquisition.
Well, the Crusades were a defensive war because Islam had taken over so much of the North Africa, of Spain. They were invading France. They had attacked Byzantium. They had conquered massive lands from Byzantium.
For your information,
Yeah.
ايوه لما تشوفه في الطريق خليه يمشي في الجهه الضيقه يعني. Force them to the narrow side of the road.
Let me just get this verse up.
Don't film him. Film me and Chris.
Yeah.
There is a Jewish neighbor of the Prophet.
Right. Can I just read this?
Who was hurting him.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll listen to you, but can I just read this because it's important to him? Listen, this is Surah 9, Ayah 29. Fight those who do not believe in Allah on the last day, or comply with what Allah and His Messenger have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth from among those who were given the scripture, until they pay the tax willingly, submitting, fully humbled. Now, that's a Sahih International version. In the actual Arabic, it doesn't use nice words like humbled. It uses the words like submitted or humiliated, I believe.
Chris, that this is about paying your dues.
No, it's about fighting those who do not
It's
believe
about
in the last
jizya.
day.
No. Until they pay the jizya.
Yeah.
So if they pay the jizya, don't fight them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So it's about the jizya, right?
Well, it's either you fight them because they are not believing in Allah, and either they submit to
let's
Allah,
talk about
or
me
they pay
and
the
you.
jizya.
Okay,
Yeah.
me, I'm a Muslim, you're a Christian.
Yeah.
Okay, I tell you, I come to you, I say to you, pay the jizya. You said no, I fight you until you pay.
Okay.
But if you pay,
Yeah.
I leave you. Why I don't fight you because you're Christian? Why I leave
Because
you?
I've paid the tax.
Because I'm
I'm
not,
effectively paying
because
bribe money to not be attacked.
Let's establish the reason for the fighting. Let's establish the
Yeah,
reason.
to submit to Allah. Made it clear in the verse.
Okay, you paid the jizya. Why should
Wait,
I
wait,
leave? I should
No.
continue.
The verse says if
I
I
should-
pay jizya,
So-
then you are not commanded to fight me. Yeah.
And
that happened-
Yeah.
and that-
So you agree with
Yeah.
me now?
Well, if that's what you're saying, yeah.
So I'm not
If you're
fighting
saying
you.
if you're saying that you
If
don't
you
have
pay
to
the
fight me if
jizya,
I
I
give
go.
you money,
If you
sure.
pay the jizya, I go. I
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
you
yeah.
to your religion.
Yeah.
So
But
it's not
see-
about your religion.
See, we have a word for what that's called. Yeah, that's called intimidation.
No, it's not.
If I said to you, look, I'm going to fight you, but if you give me money, I'll leave you alone.
Listen.
That's called intimidation.
Listen.
What happened to you if you don't pay tax here? What happened to you?
So
He got to
wait,
jail. He got to
wait.
jail.
There's a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a state having the right to tax people and
Islam
a
is a
religion
state.
having the right to.
No, Islam is a state also.
Well, Islam is trying
Government.
it's always trying to form a
Yeah.
caliph. Yeah.
Do you know what
but
happened?
It is a religion
Do you
that
know
is
what happened?
discriminating based on
Do you
religiousness.
know what happened to the
not
Muslims?
based on who lives
Do you know
anywhere.
what happened to the Muslims who refused to pay their dues?
Yeah, very bad things. Yeah, I accept that. Yeah, if they didn't pay zakat. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
They
yeah.
got killed.
Yeah.
Do you know
what
what
I'm
the-
saying though is you're saying to the Christians and
wars
Jews,
of,
pay effectively.
The apostasy wars. Do you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what it is all about?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about
it's about
zakat.
zakat. Yeah, whether
Zakat.
zakat is obligatory
Look,
or whether it was just in the
even
time
though
of
Allah,
Muhammad. Yeah,
even
yeah.
though Allah said fight the Jews and Christians, but this didn't happen really. No Jewish and Christian were killed.
So Muslims went
But
all the way
Muslims
from
were
Saudi
killed.
Arabia to the Middle East to North Africa to Spain to France, and they just did it peacefully. They just casually walked across, like, "Hi guys." No, of course not.
A Muslim-
They used the sword.
There are more Muslims who were killed because they didn't pay the zakah than Jews
Right.
and Christians.
I'm not talking about that. I completely agree with that. I get, yeah,
So it's about
Muslims
paying
were
your
killed
dues.
Yeah, but you're saying that as a Christian, my duty is to pay a tax
The Muslim
specifically to
state-
humiliate me,
The Muslim
or
state,
to have me submit.
as long as you pay your dues,
on,
the Muslim,
sorry.
the Muslim state doesn't care if you're Muslim, Christian. Just pay your dues.
Yes, but if I'm a
We
Christian, I have to pay a special
They don't
tax,
care.
which is jizya,
If
which is designed to
I'm a
to
Muslim. If
humble
I don't
me.
pay, they kill me.
If I don't pay, they'll kill me.
So it's about you.
But
then.
this is a specific tax that is only on me. It's not on you.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
All right, Saeed.
Okay, we
We'll
talk
leave it at
again
that.
later, all right?
Talk again later.
Thank you very much.
All right, just had a chat with Saeed. We talked about a few things. We talked about the understanding in Islam that you can have sex with prepubescent girls. That's Al-Talaq, Surah 65, Ayah 4, where it says that you can have sex with underage girls because they have not yet menstruated. We also talked about the equivalent in Christianity, and he's clearly wrong. There is no equivalent in Christianity whatsoever. Jesus made it clear through principles we are to love all. He made it clear in Mark chapter 5, verse 31 onwards, that a 12-year-old that Jesus raised from the dead was considered to be a little girl, not a woman, as Islam wants us to believe. We also find Old Testament support in Ezekiel chapter 16 verse 6, where it gives an analogy about what a woman is, and it talks about the fullness of her breasts as well as pubic hair. Clear demonstrations of having reached and completed puberty. Then we talked about what did we talk about then? Oh, we talked about violence. We talked about how in Islam violence is something that is permissible. In Christianity, we are not permitted to use violence to spread our religion. Rather, we do so by our preaching, by our ministry, by the good works that we do, and by telling people about the gospel. God bless.